facing the police every single day.
Yes, I need copies of my medical records.
Your medical records?
Yep.
Let me see what our procedure is for that, okay?
All right, I already talked to records. I got to come here, show my ID, and I can get a copy.
Okay.
All right.
Do you know who your reference person would be for that?
What's that?
Do you know who your reference person would be for that?
Oh, at the records?
No, for here, to show your ID.
No, I do not know, but there's my ID.
All right. It'll be 1 moment. I'm
All
going
right.
to call medical to see what the
All right.
procedure is.
For him?
Yeah.
So I just called records. And
Okay.
They said that you have to go to 7474 Utilities Road to get your records and put them in a portal.
Through the portal?
She said that you have to make a formal request through the portal and send it over through them. So to go to the main office at 7474 Utilities Road.
Right. I already have the email that says I just have to come here and show my ID because it's not a records request. It's my right to records under Hipaa.
That's understandable, yes. I was told by medical also that you have to request them through jail records.
And again, we already did that, and my nurse called here and reamed him a new butthole, and she's HIPAA certified, and then nothing against you, but no, under HIPAA, even this guy knows you have the right to your own medical records. What's that?
Is there somebody I can get for you? Do you know?
No, I'm going to go there, and we're documenting this because this is a huge lawsuit, all right? This is huge, and I know nothing to do with you, but dude, they've been fucking people for years on getting medical records here. They're making you sign a HIPAA thing, signing it over to the sheriff, and then they give it to me, and then they redact it because it's medical. That totally violates HIPAA. So we're going to look for a lawyer in that. Thanks.
Who says that you can't have the candy? Wait. Okay.
I'm bad. I need to get a copy of my medical records from jail. So they said I had to come here and show ID.
Oh, yes.
Correct. Now, a nurse is going to personally give it to me, or they're going to give it to you guys, and then you're going to give it to me?
Okay. When I send your ID,
Yeah.
the nurse send it to records, and then records release it to you.
So they're going to see my records that I don't want them to see.
No, nobody's gonna see your records.
How are they not going to see my records if they send it to the sheriff first?
Sir, everything goes through our record department.
Not when it's HIPAA related, medical.
Everything that you request have to go through our record department.
All right, we'll see.
So far, right now, this is what I need, the ID.
We'll see.
They will give you a call when it's ready. Even probably the jail will give you a call.
Right.
And they can release you from right there.
Right.
Or we do it.
And again, so you just admitted it. They might release it there. I'm not signing any HIPAA paperwork that releases it to you. Okay? So I need it from a nurse, not from you, from a nurse to you to me. I need it from nurse. That's why I went there first.
Because HIPAA law forbids for
So here's the interesting thing. I'm sure you guys have already violated a ton of people. We're going to contact the HIPAA lawyer, and that's another lawsuit. So very, very sad. Do you guys got more of the stickers that say that I need a special treatment? He was giving out a sticker that says I need special treatment so the cops don't beat you up and let the dog eat you. You don't have that?
No, what I have is this, but it's just for drugs. Or help people who need help for drugs.
No, yeah, you guys were giving out a sticker that says I need special treatment, but all right, whatever.
Special treatment.
Okay, that's fine. I don't got time. I got appointments. So all right.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
Hello, my name is Jordan Dulce, and I'm an attorney with Cersei, Denny, Scarola, Barnhart, and Shipley. And I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of your medical records and how you can play a vital role in managing your own health care. The first part about medical records I'd like to talk to you about is who actually owns your medical records. It can be surprising to many patients that your medical records are actually owned by the providers that you see. But under federal and state law, you have a right to access those records and to obtain copies. Now, what they can charge for medical records varies, but the law provides that they must charge a reasonable fee. At Cersei Denny, we're able to sometimes use federal laws and what's called a high-tech request to get those records at almost no cost, or at least a minimum fee. But sometimes providers can charge as much as $1 per page, so it's important that you talk to your healthcare provider and make sure that they understand that they're only allowed to charge a reasonable fee for those records. Sometimes patients may encounter healthcare providers who refuse to provide them with the medical records they're entitled to. In those situations, it's important to know your rights and how you can reach out to state agencies to make sure your rights are heard and that you get the medical records you are entitled to. Two of those agencies, the Department of Health and the Agency for Healthcare Administration, are the Florida agencies that you can reach out to with complaints if any healthcare providers refuse to give you your medical records. Under Hipaa, which is the federal law, you're entitled to your own healthcare information, and they should be able to provide that information to you through your medical records. Often,
The Department of Health and Human Services published notice on April 30th that it's exercising its discretion on how it applies its regulations on the assessment of civil monetary penalties under Hipaa. Currently, it applies the same cumulative annual limit to the 4 categories of violations. Pending further rulemaking, HHS will now apply different cumulative annual limits instead of the maximum $1.5 million for each level of violation. This is a reduction in the maximum limit, scaling down based on the level of culpability. HHS will use the new penalty structure until further notice. Based on the 4 categories of culpability, for the first category of no knowledge, the minimum penalty is $100 and the annual limit is now $25,000, down from $1.5 million. For reasonable cause, $1,000 is the minimum and $100,000 for an annual limit, down from $1.5 million. For willful neglect with a correction, $10,000 is the minimum and $250,000 annual limit, down from $1.5 million. The highest is for willful neglect with no correction, and $50,000 is the minimum with an annual limit of $1.5 million.
Looking at healthcare records without permission or authorization. Make sure that patient records containing personal identification are only accessed for treatment, payment, consultation, or legal purposes. 2. Not conducting an organization-wide risk analysis. Conducting regular Hipaa risk assessments can help you avoid future breaches. You should make sure to find where PHI is vulnerable so that the wrong people don't get their hands on it. 3. Failure to address security risks. It's one thing to conduct an audit. It's another thing to do something about the results. Prioritize addressing any risks that are identified during the audits. 4. Denying patient health access to their records. Doing this is kinda illegal and can lead to multiple Hipaa violations for each day the file is denied. Provide people with access to their medical records upon request and without delay. 5. Failure to enter into a Hipaa-compliant business associate agreement. What a mouthful, am I right? A healthcare provider needs to comply with Hipaa, but so do all the companies that work with the provider. Any third-party vendors with access to PHI must also observe Hipaa compliance. 6. Insufficient ePHI access control measures. Hipaa laws mandate that you must protect digital PHI at every point of access. Make sure that the authorized individuals are the only people who can access the electronic protected health information. 7. Failing to use encryption or equivalent security to safeguard ePHI. Encryption is not mandatory under Hipaa, even if it is beneficial for healthcare organizations. However, equally suitable security measures must protect ePHI. 8. Exceeding the 60-day deadline for breach notifications. If your organization discovers a breach, you would normally need to identify those in writing within 60 days. Some states are passing laws to make the deadline as low as 30 days, Make sure to verify local laws. 9. Unauthorized PHI disclosures. Obviously, you don't want to do this because it is a blatant HIPAA violation. If patients don't consent to have their information shared, you can't disclose the PHI. Patients must authorize any sharing of their PHI. 10. Improperly disposing of PHI. What do you do when you no longer need the protected health information? HIPAA has clear laws about how practice needs to dispose of health data. You must securely and permanently destroy PHI when it's no longer needed.